Mr. Sarasin, the new government of the North Macedonia should be elected next week. What are your expectations from the government?
Well, I mean, it was an impressive election result, and my last talks also in Skopje was for, on the one hand, congratulating Madam President and Prime Minister-elect, but also to ask for what is their outlook for the future. And both were very clear that they are committed to the European path of North Macedonia, and we offered, of course, our German support for that. We stand towards the EU accession path of North Macedonia very positively as Germany, regardless of which political color. But of course, we expect that the reforms which are necessary are delivered, and the necessary results will be delivered. Our expectation.
When we are on the issue of reforms, what exactly, in your opinion, should be the first reform that the new government should tackle?
Well, on the one hand, it is clear that in the enlargement process, we have a clear focus on rule of law and justice system, fight against corruption. So everything what is in the so-called chapters 23, 24. But I know that important is that we open the procedure for North Macedonia to get the negotiation framework officially handed over and to open the clusters and to get into the work. So that the detailed work from the Commission can start, and North Macedonia will be like able but also ought to deliver concretely. And for that, of course, we need the constitution to take place. The condition that has been set out by an unanimous decision of the European Council 2 years ago. Since then, we are waiting, and of course, it is important at the standpoint of the new government how to deal with this conflict.
In general, the reforms in the last country report from the European Commission were evaluated with not enough progress. Is there any time, enough time till the next report, this to be changed, and how?
Well, I mean, you know that the progress reports, so-called country reports, are usually coming in the autumn. There's still some time to deliver. As we see that now there's the coalition build-up going to take place. I think government will be like spread in the coming days. I think it's still enough time to deliver before the summer, in the summer, on concrete reforms, and to see.
Should the growth plan for the Western Balkan from the European Union accelerate reforms because the plan is connected with the release of the financial support for them, for the reforms?
Yeah, as far as I see it, it's that every country is delivering a reform program to the European Commission that is precondition. First to deliver that, and also then, of course, to stick to that for the different tranches of this post and money. And it's, I think, happening in collaboration between the governments and the Commission. But it's not up to the member states at this stage to adjust it. And one of the priorities of the new government to deliver on it.
You already mentioned the constitutional changes. The accession process of the country to the EU is still to stay on the constitutional amendments. The position of VMRO-DPMNE, the next government, the leading party in the next government, on this issue is well known. Constitutional changes on the end of the process, not now. Now the VMRO-DPMNE, as I mentioned, it's on the power. What are the possibilities to realize it and to change the negotiation and to change the negotiation framework?
Well, I think the abilities to change the negotiation framework is difficult, let's say. You need an unanimous decision in the European Council, and you would need to convince every European member state to open up a negotiation framework which has been set out once again. And then you would have to convince them why this is necessary. I think North Macedonian, the Macedonian government, North Macedonia, should focus on trying to deliver within the current framework. And of course, if it's possible that we are helpful in sticking to our offer stance, that Germany is one of the closest friends of North Macedonia. Our parliament has given us the advice to support the country, also in the questions of identity, culture, and language. But I think that you should not try to do this within the negotiation framework discussion. Might be too high to reach.
6 years of the Prespa agreement were marked yesterday. Did the agreement fulfill its purpose?
Well, I think if you see that today, Prespa is having big advantages for both parties, for North Macedonia and for Greece. It paved the way for NATO accession. Today, I think regarding security, the neighborhood between Greece and North Macedonia is very important for both countries. I also see that there's a new partnership developed. I think it's very important path towards the European Union for North Macedonia was in the last years advocated by Greece. And I think it's in the interest of us, of Germany, but also of the Macedonian government and the Macedonian people, that this stays the way it is, and that the old times of controversy are not coming back. Although, of course, not everybody always feels comfortable with everything what is within Prespa from both sides.
How do you comment the remaining obligation from the both sides?
Well, it's very easy to comment. Everybody should fulfill their commitments, but also everybody should prefer to care about their own commitments, but not always first about commitment from the other partner.
In the last few weeks, we are witnessing the tightening of the relations between Skopje and Athens due to the non-use of the constitutional name by the new president of North Macedonia, and the announcement from the new prime minister that he will not use the constitutional name in the speeches. What is your opinion on this?
Well, in my talks in Skopje 2 or 3 weeks ago, both gave me the impression that they're honestly committed to the path of North Macedonia towards the European Union, that they want the Macedonian people to be a part of the family of Europeans, not only like today already in mind, but also among the negotiation tables in Brussels and Strasbourg. And I understand that with the political background and also the personal history regarding Prespa, that for Mr. Michalski, it's not an easy political and personal task. I think it might be a mistake. While he's on the one hand clearly committed to the European path, it might be difficult to build up an obstacle by not using the constitutional wording for the swearing-in ceremony. So this is why my wish, if I had one, was the topic of using this or not be avoided by just sticking to what's the and not opening up a new front for domestic discussions within Greece and a new adversity between European member states and EU government. Just to keep the topic where it is, it's not totally unimportant, but much more important is the European path.
Is it possible to have an official public meeting between German and Macedonian representatives in which the name North Macedonia will not be used? Instead, will be used Macedonia from the Macedonian officials?
I mean, there are different versions of how meetings like this, have not in place in the debates in North Macedonia. I can just say that Germans never we are not controlling what guests are saying, especially not with friends like our Macedonian. Of course, I mean, it would be good to avoid awkward situations. This is to be seen, I think.
How do you, in general, evaluate the good neighborhood relations of the country? Greece, Bulgaria, Serbia, Kosovo, and Albania.
Well, I think in general we are in a difficult time in all the region, but not only, also in the European Union. We see that, for example, in my country, a party which is also having open claims to neighboring countries, very successful in France, was very successful in European elections, which wants to increase the engagement of France within the European institutions significantly. So not only in the Western Balkans, but also there, the argument of not trying to solve neighbors, but trying to exploit them politically at home is increasing. And I think especially in these times, we need try to take another pathway by, of course, recognizing necessity of identity and also national pride, but not forgetting about delivering results as well.